Hello, wonderful students, and happy Friday. Now that you've learned just a little bit about globalization, I'm going to explain our activity for the day. And so this activity begins with a story. And the story goes, a little girl arrives in Los Angeles from Japan. Her and her mom are traveling from Japan to the United States. They get off the plane, they're driving through LA, and the little girl reaches up to her mom's sleeve and pulls on it and says, "Hey mom, look, they have McDonald's in this country too." And now that probably sounds a little funny to us because I think that we as Americans think of McDonald's as a very American thing, but it's possible that little kids growing up in all over the world, right, view McDonald's not as an American thing, but something that is unique to their own country. And this is an example of globalization, right? McDonald's, I would say, is like the prime example of globalization. Really, just about anywhere that you go in the world, you can find McDonald's. So here are some pictures of some McDonald's in different parts of the world, here predominantly right throughout Asia. We also see McDonald's tailoring their menus specifically to the countries and the cultures that they are serving. So whereas you would probably not see the mega teriyaki burger in the United States, that's something that you might see if you visited a McDonald's in another part of the world. So the cool thing about globalization, right, is that it connects to some things that we've already learned about. And so in order for globalization to occur, in order for something to be so widespread that you can find it just about anywhere, diffusion has to occur. And so we talked about diffusion yesterday, and on this map we can see the diffusion of McDonald's around the world. So the color represents the time period that McDonald's arrived or opened in each of these different world regions. So we can see, if we kind of zoom in down here, the United States had the first McDonald's. Actually, the first McDonald's originated in Illinois, near Des Plaines. So by 1940, we've got McDonald's in the United States. 1971, we've got McDonald's throughout Europe and Asia and Australia. 1979, McDonald's has diffused to South America, and by 1992, we have McDonald's in Africa as well. Okay, and here's a map of McDonald's throughout Tennessee, and really any state that you look at in the United States, you're going to see something similar, right? We know that McDonald's is everywhere, right? Walgreens says you can find us on every corner, but I think it's really more like McDonald's that you can find on every corner. And so here's what you're going to do today. You're going to take a look at this infographic. So we've got a map. We can see we've got some dots here. The size of the dot represents the amount or the number of stores in each country. So you're going to compare the number of Starbucks throughout the world to the number of McDonald's throughout the world, and then just take a look at some of the other information that's in the bottom, because it might come in handy as you're answering the questions on the following chart. So you're going to complete this McDonald's and Starbucks comparison chart. And what I want you to do is really be thinking about everything that we've learned about so far. So I want you to be thinking about distribution, right? What is the density, concentration, and pattern? I want you to be thinking about diffusion. What are the types of diffusion that you're seeing in terms of the spread of McDonald's and the spread of Starbucks? So what are the similarities and differences between the Starbucks and McDonald's maps? You're going to go ahead and list your similarities and your differences. And then down here, I want you to explain the patterns found for the distribution of McDonald's for each of the following continents. So again, I want you to be thinking in AP Human Geo terminology, okay? So if it's asking you for the distribution, we should be using words like density, concentration, pattern, clustered, dispersed. Okay, that's our assignment for the day. When you are finished, be sure to turn it in through Google Classroom. I hope you have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and I will see you all on Tuesday. Have a wonderful rest of your day.